What's up, folks? You're listening to episode 2 of the Throwaway Days podcast. I'm Cody Jones, and or Stillborn Identity, MC Turkey Toes, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm your host. Today, we're sponsored by SwitchMongo.com, your new online destination for serious global skate news with a side of skid marks. SwitchMongo, always pushing it. Visit now at SwitchMongo.com or be stricken with crippling male impotence and chronic vibrant diarrhea. So if you don't go there and you're a girl, I think you still get the crippling male impotence and chronic vibrant diarrhea. And we're brought to you by Squarespace. Just kidding, we're not, but every other podcast is. So, I thought if I said that, maybe you'd think the Throwaway Days is kind of a big deal. And you'd be like, you know what? I want to advertise with those guys. And you know what? You can't. Hit us up at TheThrowAwayDays@gmail.com and, print or podcast or both, or if you want me to tattoo your logo on my forehead for like $10, I'll do it. Let's do it, man. Let's get that money. For the second podcast, I did an interview with Esh the Monolith when he toured through Pittsburgh. But before we get too much in on that, let me fill you in on what's new with me, because I'm clearly the real reason you're here, right? Right? Fuck. But yeah, I don't know, not a lot's new with me. I was just in Reno, just in Vegas a little bit, and San Francisco for like 4 hours. I was just filming some stuff with my brother. Don't want to spill the beans too much on what that is yet, just because it might be a while before it's done. But other than that, I got some shows coming up. I'm not even sure if this will air before the next show, but Saturday, April 9th in Pittsburgh, I'm going to be playing at Rock Room with the homies Kid Dead and I Alive and the local homie Sykes. Tuesday, April 19th, again in Pittsburgh, I'll be at Howlers with B. Dolan of Strange Famous Records, which I'm pretty pumped about that. Just to be playing with anyone from Strange Famous really is kind of cool for me. He's on tour with Felix Fast Forward, the local homie is Fortified Phonetics, and Sykes will be on that again. I'm not sure the next time I'll do a podcast realistically, so my May shows so far are Saturday, May 21st in Pittsburgh again. I'm going to be at Hen Haas, spelled German, pronounced Pittsburgh, Haus. I'll be with Nah, N-A-H, who's pretty tight. I played with him a few years ago. It's like live drums and a beat machine. And the local band Calyx. Friday, May 27th, I'll be in Kent, Ohio, and Saturday, May 28th, I'll be in Huntington, West Virginia. Yeah, that's all the shows I'll give you that I got going on for now. But yeah, the second podcast was like an interview-based one as opposed to the first kind of story-driven, music-driven one that came out with the last issue of the zine. I got caught up with Esh the Monolith, who I met. Esh and I probably played like 4 or 5 shows or something, so I know him a decent bit, and in rap ears, I feel like that's a good amount. But I kind of went into this blind. I didn't really know how to do this podcast, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to prepare at all. That's going to be the thing. I'm just going to like learn all this stuff. And like as soon as I started, I'm all like, oh, I wish I had like a little more notes with me. But luckily I knew Ash pretty well, so we still breezed through it. Everything's a little out of order, but I learned a lot from it. So this one's cool. The next one will be better. And hopefully they just keep going that way. But it was funny. After I did this interview with Esh in his hotel. They had a hotel after their show, like a pretty nice spot, just because like they had a friend that hooked it up. And every time I'm in a nice hotel, I'm all like, oh God, someone's gonna know I'm not supposed to be here and kick me out. And I'm like walking out of the place, and this woman is like, hey, are you looking for someone? I was like, no. She's like, you're not? And I'm like thinking this lady's gonna kick me out, like she works there, and I like look at her, and then she clearly didn't work there. I was like, no, not looking for anyone. And she's like, oh, are you leaving? I was like, yeah, I'm leaving now. She's like, oh, someone set me up on a blind date, and I thought maybe it was you. And I was like, nope, not me. And I just like split outside, and she kind of followed me to go have a cigarette. And like I get to my bike and I'm starting to unlock it, and I'm like, oh damn, this girl's like getting stood up on her blind date, and I felt bad, So I get my bike and I ride it back over the front door, and I was like, hey, what's up with your blind date? You want to go get a drink? She's like, oh really? That's very sweet of you. She's like, let me go inside and I'll call my friend who set me up on the blind date and make sure, whoever's not coming. I was like, all right. So she goes in, and long story short, she never came back out. So I pretty much got stood up by the girl who got stood up on her blind date. Which, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get in some weird adventure tonight, like go on like a blind date with this girl. Like, who still does that? I don't know, people went on straight up blind dates. And maybe they don't, because I told that story to this girl I knew, and she's like, yeah, she kind of sounds like a prostitute. I was like, oh, fuck, I don't know. So, maybe she did me a favor. Maybe she just broke my heart. Who knows? But yeah, here's the interview I did with Esh. You can hear the other half of Esh and Ark, the archetype, a few times chime in the background, which is cool. It's not like I stuck him in a cage and told him to shut up. He was just in and out of the room, but it was a good time. Let's check it out. Here we go. All right, peace. See you there. Bye. All right, TTYL.
Sound system was totally great. Sound guy was not really in the best of places. But he didn't expect to have to work that night, so
okay.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I was about to record a fucking song for my album with my band.
Yeah, right, bro.
But whatever. Anyway, but the venue was perfect. It was the size was ideal, and
yeah.
It was a great vibe. It would be fucking perfect if people.
Double Happiness? Is that what it was?
Happiness,
I've heard of it. I don't know.
Have you ever played there before?
No, not that spot.
Yeah, no, it's a good room.
Yeah.
And it was a fucking Chinese food restaurant, maybe too. No.
I don't think
they served food. I think it just had
just the
Chinese
vibe.
decor.
No, that was their whole thing. Because the symbol was a Chinese symbol for happiness, and there was two of them in the window. So
I
it's
didn't
happiness.
realize that you knew the Chinese symbol for happiness. Archetype.
I'm full Mandarin, son. All right.
Word. Later, loser.
Going to the pool, fucking maxing out for a minute. What's
Oh,
happening here?
Hit the fitness center.
Yeah.
Take a run.
Dude, it might be a bad time to tell you. I'm completely unprepared, which was part of my plan.
Yeah,
I'm
that's fine.
yeah, it's fucking podcast. We'll just yuck it up. But
that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah, but
People
then
don't
I got nervous. And I'm like, oh man, I don't know. But yeah. So what's the day one shit? Aren't you from Providence originally?
Yeah, I'm from Providence, Rhode Island originally. Grew up there. I lived there for fucking 20-something years. I lived in Providence for way too long.
Okay. Is it not cool? What's...
I mean, it's an alright city. It's just...
you gotta get out of your hometown or something?
Yeah,
One of those
definitely.
things?
It's just kind of it's a small place.
Yeah.
And so, once you become an adult, everybody's kind of knows each other, and everybody's in each other's business.
Yeah.
And, eventually I was just I gotta get the fuck out of the city.
Yeah.
So, after that, I moved up to Boston, and that was about 7 years ago, something like that. So, I've been in Boston since, which is a nice city.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed living there.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
What was your introduction into rap and stuff? Because isn't Brzezowski from... He's from Rhode Island as well, right?
No, he's from Portland, Maine.
No, originally though, I thought... Or maybe his mom lives there or
Maybe.
something. Yeah, there's something like that.
I don't know, actually. He might be, but... yeah, I didn't meet Brzezowski until actually that tour that I did with HW and Halo.
Yeah.
I think that was the first time I met Brzezowski. I don't know, I can't remember. Cool. So that was, 4 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, because you came through here on that one. I was trying to put a date on it.
Yeah, that was the first time I played in Pittsburgh.
Nice.
That was a weird place. That was the day after
Trenton, when you fucked your foot all up?
When I jumped off of the top of our fucking Jeep that we were touring in.
Yeah. I remember.
Halo's, whatever SUV he has. And I was just so drunk and jumped off the top and screamed rap music and rolled my ankle. And straight up thought I broke it. And it was the third day on tour and I was just well, this fucking sucks. I'm not gonna go to a hospital, I'm just gonna fucking limp around.
Yeah, I remember the day of HW called me. He's like, hey man, do you have any, without explaining it, he's like, do you have any pain pills for Esh? I'm who, what kind of flyer list is this?
Yeah, right. But I should do that without even, injuries.
Yeah.
Call up, the point person at the venue and be like, yo, you got any, Percocets or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because HW was recording me being stupid and jumping off the
I
thing.
saw the footage.
But we put it on the album.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you listen to the new shit, which is Death Doesn't Want You, it's the Esh and Arc album. We tied the whole thing together with interludes of like, because there was shockingly, like, or maybe not shockingly, like lots of footage of me acting like a drunk idiot.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's kind of what the album was about. It was kind of about like this period in my life where I was a bit out of control, and there was just a lot of footage from there. And, you know, it was about, like, that period and kind of getting out of that period, so we thought it was, like, perfect to tie the whole thing together with.
Is that why, like, it's kind of, like, the more party music than usual? Is that, like, a whole theme you guys are going for? Because I noticed, like, a totally different vibe than a lot of the other stuff.
Well, we wanted to do something that was, like, high energy and fun to perform. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times, you know, you've been to a million rap shows. It can get kind of like droney, and we wanted to do something different where we were, you know, incorporating live instruments and, you know, like a lot of, like, none of it is sample based. We didn't do any sampling on it.
Yeah.
But Arc never does any sample stuff.
Yeah, I remember you told me that last time you came through.
But we got like a lot of players on it, like a lot of friends of ours who are in bands in Boston. You know, we got the drummer from Moniker plays on it a lot. This group, Tiger Man Woe, that's like a straight up jug band.
Okay.
Fucking down south, big ass beard dudes play banjos and shit like that. But yeah, I mean, as far as like like we weren't necessarily like going for a party vibe, but like during the writing of it, I was partying a lot. Yeah. So it kind of just naturally happened.
Yeah. Word. Totally got ahead. I like asked you how you got introduced, and then I just cut you off to like Brzezowski and then to HW. And
That's
shit.
all good, man.
Yeah, how like
let's go everywhere.
Yeah, worst podcast ever. Let's do it.
That's best.
Yeah, you've been like rapping for a while. Like it seemed like I knew you like a few years, and you've been like going like pretty consistently hard. And then wasn't there like a little bit of a delay for a while, and then you were rapping even before then too?
Yeah. I put out my first full length in 2008, which is fucking
was
long
that
ago.
Adventures of the? Which one's that?
Yeah, Adventures of an Eccentric Superhero.
Okay.
And I mean that was just me kind of fucking around. It was the only thing I've ever done that was completely self-produced.
Yeah.
So I made all the beats. I rhymed on it, and you know, it had a couple members of this old crew that I used to be in Providence.
Okay.
And then after that was kind of like a period where that was kind of like after that album was done was when I was like I got to get out of Providence. And
oh, so you did that in Providence still though? Okay.
Yeah, I recorded that in my apartment in East Providence, which was fucking. It was a nice place, dirt cheap, fucking rent. I just recorded like total bedroom shit.
Yeah.
But, you know, after that, that's like when I kind of needed to change some stuff in my life, wanting to get out of Providence. And so there was a huge delay between that and the next project that I put out, which was Invisible, which was the
one with Docs?
Yeah, that was a record that I did with Docs. So that was the first Esh and Someone Else album. Yeah. So that was my homie from Providence, Docs. He made all the beats.
Poorly Drawn People, right?
He was in a group called Poorly Drawn People. I think by then that group had dissolved a little bit. And, you know, he was starting to make less beats. He was getting more into DJing. So I kind of like caught the tail end of him doing production, things like that. And I think that was like 2011.
Yeah.
So there was, you know, years before I started working again.
Yeah.
But since then, I've been pretty consistent putting stuff out.
Yeah, because you guys did or you did, I don't know which came first, that Loop-Minded Individuals. Was that before or after your first release with Art?
That was after.
Okay.
Yeah, so after Invisible, maybe like a year after that, I started working with Arc, which is funny because we met, like we've been like really close friends for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
we both went to school together. We met at Emerson College our first year. It was his first year. I'd gotten like kicked out of my previous school, and I was like, fuck that shit. I'm not going back to school. And then I took 2 years off, and then I ended up going back to Emerson.
Okay.
And that's where I met Archetype.
Cool.
And then we did not make any music together for a very long time.
Yeah.
And, you know, he saw me put out my first record, put out the Docs record. And we always had, like, a mutual respect for what we did, you know, musically. And, of course, we were good friends. And then after the Docs record, I just kind of didn't really know what I was doing. And one day we just decided, like, well, why don't we just make music together, see how that works. And that's what the Nightworks EP was pretty much all about.
Yeah.
There's like 8 songs on that that, you know, it's definitely a project that's just kind of us figuring out what we were doing.
Right.
And like what our sound was. And, you know, now, obviously, it's a lot more realized vision of what Esh and Arc does.
Cool.
Do.
What they does.
What they does.
Yeah, that's tight. All your videos are pretty on point, too. Like,
oh, thanks.
Like, yeah, is it like a mutual friend, or you got, like, how does that come about? Because you're, like, consistently putting out a bunch of videos, too. You just...
Yeah, I really like doing videos. And I don't know, like, most of them have just been people that I've met who are into doing video, and I catch them at the right time, and they're like, yeah, let's do something. And,
cool.
You know, the first couple, like, the first video I did was from the Invisible record with Docs, and it was a joint called Board Games. And I had met this kid, Nick Heller, who had a production company called Ricky Shabazz and the Boom Bap Boys. Yeah. But he was doing videos. He just started doing these, like, budget videos for lots of different rappers in, like, Boston area, New York, and stuff like that. He kind of started, like, getting a buzz for his video work.
Yeah.
And I just hit him up, and I was like, I got this very simple idea for a video, because that video is all one shot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Were you, like, being kidnapped or whatever, that one?
Yeah, exactly, and they throw tomatoes at me at the end. So I was just kind of like, I got this real simple shit, like, you want to help me out with this? We just gotta get a dolly and, you know, bring your camera and shoot this one shot. Yeah. So it was really easy, there was no, like, editing involved, or anything like that. And that shit turned out pretty dope. I was happy with that one. And since then, we just, you know, kept on making more. I'm trying to think of what the second one we made was.
You did one for Soap Scum off that record too, right?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
That was shot by my homies in Philly, this crew called SBP. And I met them through my homie Andrew Militia. Yeah. Do you know him?
Yeah, we played with him in Boston together.
Oh, right.
He skates and he rips. So
yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Because if you don't rip on Instagram, I don't follow you.
Fuck that shit. Yeah. Yeah, no, so through him, I'd done a song with Andrew, and he introduced me to his friends. And they came to Boston, and we shot that Soap Scum video. And it was another situation where I was just kind of like, I have this idea for a video. It's gonna be really easy to do. Come on by with your camera and let's shoot that shit. Cool. But they were fun to work with. They're just good dudes and drink a shitload of beer, and it was just a fun shoot.
Hell yeah.
I got all the I'm covered in mud throughout the whole thing, and walking down Newbury Street and in Boston rapping at people. That's like the fancy shopping area in Boston. It's like the upscale shopping area.
That's awesome. Dude, even whenever I film a video for someone else, they're like, yeah, I want to be like rapping, walking down the street. I'm all like, I get like secondhand embarrassment. I'm like, man, I do not want to rap like just at like some random grandma, and like I feel guilty when you have to do it too. Like
I mean, most fucking rap videos are like that. And that's one thing that I definitely try not to do.
Yeah, like, no, I'm not saying like that's what you did.
Oh,
you
no,
obviously a twist on it. But
obviously I was covered in fucking mud, and people were disgusted by me, which was like the point.
What do you feel like is your most like effective way to like reach people? Like, how do you feel like those videos made an impact, or as opposed to touring and whatever else?
The videos definitely helped a lot because, I mean, if you look at all of them, they're all really unique. You know what I mean? They don't really look like or have like a concept like a lot of rap videos.
Yeah.
So those videos really like started to, you know, get me noticed, and it's easy to do because you put it on the fucking internet and you don't have to drive for, you know, 4 hours a day and go rock for some people. So yeah, the videos definitely helped a lot. I mean, touring helped a lot too. It just kind of helped in a different way.
Yeah.
Because, you know, especially on this tour, like, I feel like the whole Esh and Arc, like, thing that we do, like, the live show really has a lot to do with that. So, and that's an experience that you can't get from the record. And I think it just kind of adds to, you know, the whole thing of what we do. So, I mean, everything helps. That's why I just keep on doing everything I can. And releasing records and videos and...
Yeah, actual records too, man. That's fucking gnarly.
Yeah. Yeah, Death Doesn't Want You is the second piece of vinyl that I've put out.
Yeah.
Me and Docs put Invisible on a 10-inch vinyl, which is sold out. There's no more copies of that anywhere.
How many did you do?
I think like 300, something like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Dude, I like made the mistake of like printing 500 of a CD
Yeah.
like recently.
Yeah.
I'm all like, oh, like people don't really give a fuck about CDs, huh?
Yeah.
I'm like, bummer, because it's been like a few years since I put anything out, and I'm just fucked.
Yeah, my first for Adventures, we print the label that was doing it printed up 1,000 copies.
Yeah.
For me in 2008 when nobody knew me, and it's like
and you took like a little break after too. That's rough.
Yeah.
At least like I saw you have tapes now too. Like I feel like the vinyls and tapes kind of hold their worth. Like people will still want it even if it's not your like most recent release.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I love this format.
Yeah. I mean, like,
nerds.
I feel like the vinyl is for the people who actually like give a fuck about, you know, how music sounds and things like that.
Yeah.
And you know, it's the best format of music that you can have.
Yeah.
And the tapes are just kind of like a cool thing that, you know, people collect now. And, you know, like, I started, I put it, that's like, the Esh and Arc shit is the fourth tape that I've put out. And honestly, like, those move the best out of any format.
What were the other ones? So you did the Loop Minded, and then the Loop Minded instrumental, was that one that you count? And then what was the other one?
Moon Balloon, which is a collaborative record that I did with Gray Sky Appeal.
Oh, okay.
You met those guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like whenever I put out Loop Minded, I think it's like 2011, 2012 or something like that. Wait, no, I don't know, whatever. Fucking.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like say you're wrong, you know?
I don't know years.
Yeah.
It's like 2019 now. But I hooked up with this label out of Annapolis, Maryland.
I Had an Accident?
Yeah, I Had an Accident. This dude, Justin, was running it then. He actually just stopped running the label. But, you know, I hit him up when Loop Minded was done, and I was like, hey, do you want to do a short run of tapes? And he was like, yeah, definitely. And since then, he was just like a really easy person to work with.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me put out a instrumental version. You know, we did a different cover for it, put that out. Then, you know, maybe a year later, put Moon Balloon out with Gray Sky Appeal. And then when Death Doesn't Want You was done, hit him up again. He was down.
Oh, really? Oh, so he did the tapes for that, or did he?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
I mean, that's officially an AR Classic release, but I Had an Accident did the tapes.
Cool. Moon Balloon, is that the one you said?
Mm-hmm.
How did, like, I know you toured with those guys, and then they're originally from Boston? Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Taj and Zeke are originally from Vermont, and John is from
New Hampshire?
New Hampshire, yeah.
Yeah. But they came together in Boston.
Yeah. When I first moved to Boston, like, they were, like, the first dudes who showed me love and shit like that. Like,
yeah.
Those are definitely the homies.
Cool.
Yeah, they were working out there, and they were throwing shows at this place called Unit 11, which was this like DIY venue that was just like, it was popping super hard. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they were like filling it with college kids all the time. And so, you know, they stayed there for a couple of years and then bounced to New York. And they live out in Flatbush now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that record like all Taj's beats and stuff, or?
Yeah.
Cool.
That dude's nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
He has like a really unique style to his shit. I really like it. He's also a really talented visual artist.
Yeah.
He's like a crazy
I've
painter.
seen that. That's
Yeah.
gnarly.
Yeah.
Let's see. What did you go to school for? I meant to ask that earlier.
I went to school for audio engineering.
Yeah.
Yeah. I technically have a media arts degree.
Okay.
So like I did like video and audio and radio shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tight. Do you use that at all?
I mean, yeah.
Aside from, well, I meant like professionally at all?
Yeah, I mean, for my corporate gig, yeah.
Oh,
that's,
cool.
That's what I do. I could produce for this toy company.
Yeah.
Do audio work for them. And,
Oh, really? You make like sick beats for toys and shit? Like, what's that mean?
It means that I like a lot of the toys like speak now. Like there's a lot of audio coming out of toys, and I will like write scripts for.
Oh,
for them.
really? That's
and
awesome.
Then, and then find voice talent and record them and shit like that.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not a bad gig.
No, that's sick.
Yeah.
I knew you like worked in some like toy place, and I just imagine you like in an assembly line, like putting arms on or something. Just,
Yeah,
like,
that's what everybody thinks.
Yeah.
Everybody makes like a Santa's elf joke.
That's cool. You ever like if you want to go out on a bad note, you just gonna make like a toy say some fucked up shit and like put it out there?
Well,
Like kill your parents or something?
I've definitely done that shit. I've slipped like
Really?
yeah, my lyrics into toys.
Really?
Like, yeah, it says
Oh.
Esh and shit like that.
Dude, do you know like which ones?
I don't think I can say.
Okay,
I think
that's
that might
awesome.
get me fired.
Yeah, probably. Because I'm gonna have a lot of streams on this.
I'll tell you after.
Yeah, that's
after
cool.
this. Yeah.
That's tight.
But I'm definitely corrupting the youth.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Did you see that one news anchor after Fife Dog died? The one like news anchor like slipped all the Tribe lyrics and
Oh
like, all
yeah.
this shit.
Yeah, that shit was tight.
Yeah. It's like, oh,
That was a bummer, man. I was a huge Tribe. I mean, everybody was a huge Tribe fan.
Yeah.
That was a huge loss. Yeah.
Fuck. Dude, how'd you get some girl's tits on your new record?
So that was I don't even know that girl. I just met her that one time.
Yeah.
That she came and like shot the cover. I had some girl that I knew actually from back in Providence who was going to shoot the cover.
Okay.
She would have been good for it and whatever. But I think last minute she was just like, I don't want to be on a vinyl cover with my tits out.
Yeah.
So we kind of had to scramble last minute to find somebody. And one of the engineers that works at Arc Studio, he knew somebody. He was like messing with somebody at the moment and was like, yeah, I got somebody. She'll come through.
Yeah.
And it's funny. She just came in and she was like, all right, yeah, I'm cool. Like,
yeah.
takes her clothes
was
off.
she like an aspiring model or she just like not modest?
She was
just
definitely not an aspiring model. Just a free spirit, man.
Yeah, that's cool. I like her. All right, so this is the last day of your tour.
Yeah.
You guys are out for like 2 weeks?
Yeah, we've been out for 2 weeks. I'm very excited to get home.
Yeah, for sure.
We did like East Coast, went down south, came up back through Columbus, and ending up in fine Pittsburgh with all you Yinzers.
Yeah, there you go. You know the lingo. Yeah, that's tight. And you said you probably used all your vacation days though. Like, you think you'll be getting out for any more runs, or probably not till?
No, I'll get out
release,
for more runs. I mean, my job's pretty lenient, so
yeah.
As long as I get the work done, then I'm good.
Cool.
I don't know, I was thinking about maybe going out in the fall again.
Yeah. Any idea where or?
I would love to hit like the Midwest indie rap spots. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah, for
Minneapolis
sure.
and shit
Yeah.
like that. I've never been to the Pacific Northwest either. I'd like to just go there because I've just never been there.
Yeah, seems like a cool area.
Yeah, I've played Cali before. I played all up and down the East Coast, and I definitely want to like hit someplace new.
Yeah.
Maybe go overseas, get that European rap money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tight. Do you think you could? You like have like.
Yeah.
You had did someone book this tour for you, or did?
Yeah, we had a booking agent.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is actually my first time working with a booking agent, not just like booking my own tour.
Yeah.
And probably won't do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you have someone that's like really cares and it's like their actual job to get you a good show.
Right.
Like,
yeah, I mean, you know, like we had good shows on this run, but you know how it is. Just there's a couple duds that you walk into.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah.
But do you have like leads on like stuff in Europe then, or?
Well, we're pretty cool with Rex, who goes over there all the time, and he's been talking about like we have a crew. This hoodie thing.
Yeah.
Is
Bullies.
Beantown Bullies, which is there's like 20 people in the group. It's like Rex, Terminology. Is Ed OG officially in the group, Ark?
Yeah, but it's not like a group, it's a collective. It shouldn't be thought of as a group.
Yeah, no,
It's not like I don't know, it's not a group.
Yeah.
It's not a group. It's a collective of artists from Boston.
But yeah, Ed loves it. He's a part of it. Shout out Ed.
Shout out Ed OG. He was talking about maybe putting some bully shit together, going over to Europe. He's already done it with a couple other members of the crew and shit.
Cool. Fuck yeah.
So I would like to do that. So Rex, hey, take us to Europe.
Hell yeah. Word, man. I don't know how much more we got here, and I tell you, like, we totally started with your new record as opposed to like ending on it. But
yeah, I mean we can talk about it more if you want.
Yeah, go ahead, talk about it more.
What would you like to know about?
No, I don't care. I just want to know where you got the tits from, and then I was like, yeah, cool. I want to like, yeah.
That's the trick.
That's
man.
the selling point.
If you put shit on vinyl, you just gotta have tits on it, and it'll sell like hotcakes in every weird indie rap town.
Indie rap loser with no girls at his show is gonna be pumped.
Yo, there's mad girls there tonight. What are you talking about?
True. Word, man. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to like do some huge interview and then I fuck it all up since this is like my first one like this too. So
sure.
Let's not get our hopes too high, man.
I don't
is
have
that a
hopes
good way
anymore.
to end this?
I've been a rapper.
Don't get your hopes too high.
I've been doing this shit for long enough to know to never get your hopes high.
Yeah.
Never.
Signing off to no one.
That's tight. We're not gonna end it any better than that.
All right.
Alright, that was my interview with Esh and Ark. If you're into it, they're on the internet. Check them out. Get at them. EshTheMonolith.com will take you pretty much to wherever you want to be. The Throwaway Days also does the internet now, obviously. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that. SoundCloud, where you may be listening to this now. Bandcamp. Pretty much just search The Throwaway Days with no spaces. Still saying I'm going to update the real website, but who knows if that'll happen. And so thanks for checking it out, and thanks to these background beats by Jumbled, and sorry that there's some loud rain right now that you probably can hear. But that's about it. Alright, thanks. I'll see you next week, hopefully with an iLive interview. Alright, peace.
Yo, my name is Esh the Monolith. I'm about to jump off this fucking Jeep.
Do not jump off the Jeep. You're gonna break your fucking leg. We're gonna be fucked.
Rap music!
Really?
Oh, I hurt myself.
Dude!
Oh, I hurt myself.